It's September, and this month there are usually a lot of new phones popping up, including the latest generation of iPhones. But if you are looking for the latest and best-in-class Android smartphones, let's take a look at the following phone recommendations in September 2024. The smartphone runs the Android 14 operating system and has an internal storage option of 128 gigabytes, which can be expanded with a micro SD-XC card via the shared SIM slot. The display measures 6.5 inches with a resolution of 720 by 1600 pixels, uses an IPS LCD panel with a refresh rate of 120 Hz, and is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 3. The design is also water-resistant with a plastic frame and silicone polymer back. The Moto G45 is powered by the Qualcomm SM6375 Snapdragon 6S Gen 3 chipset with a choice of 4 GB or 8 GB of RAM. The main camera has a 50-megapixel sensor supported by a 2-megapixel macro camera and is capable of 1080-pixel video recording with gyro EIS. The front camera has a resolution of 16 megapixels. The phone comes with stereo speakers, a 3.5mm audio jack, as well as high-res audio support. The battery has a capacity of 5,000 mAh, supporting 18-watt fast charging. The Moto G45 is available in brilliant blue, brilliant green, and Viva magenta colors. The Vivo iQOO Z9S Pro was launched on August 23, 2024, featuring a 6.77-inch AMOLED display that supports 120 Hz refresh rate and HDR10+ technology. The display also has a peak brightness level of up to 4,500 nits. On the front, there is a 16-megapixel selfie camera, which can record 1080-pixel videos at 30 frames per second. The rear camera consists of a 50-megapixel main lens with phase detection autofocus and optical image stabilization features, and an 8-megapixel ultra-wide lens with a 120-degree viewing angle, capable of recording videos up to 4K at 30 or 60 FPS. The smartphone is powered by a Snapdragon 7 Gen 3 chipset, combined with 8 GB or 12 GB of RAM, as well as 128 GB or 256 GB of internal storage. For endurance, the iQOO Z9S Pro is equipped with a 5,500 mAh capacity, supporting 80-watt fast charging that can charge up to 50% in 21 minutes, as well as a 7.5-watt reverse charging feature. Available in 2 color options, namely Flamboyant Orange and Luxe Marble. The phone embeds a 6.78-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 1260 by 2800 pixels that supports 1 billion colors, HDR10+, and has a refresh rate of 120 Hz. In addition, the screen has also been supported with a peak brightness of 4,500 nits. On the front, there is a 50-megapixel selfie camera and autofocus feature, which is capable of recording videos up to 4K at 30 frames per second. The rear camera consists of 3 50-megapixel lenses, including a wide main lens, a telephoto lens with 2x optical zoom, and an ultra-wide lens, all with PDF and OIS features. While for performance it uses a MediaTek Dimensity 9200 Plus chipset that uses a 4-nanometer process. The Vivo V40 Pro comes with a choice of 8 GB or 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB or 512 GB of internal storage without an additional card slot. The battery has a capacity of 5,500 mAh and supports 80-watt fast charging and reverse charging via cable. Color options for the smartphone include Ganges Blue, Titanium Gray, and Moonlight White, giving it an elegant and premium look. The Samsung Galaxy A06 was released on August 22, 2024, and uses a 6.7-inch PLS LCD display that has a resolution of 720 by 1600 pixels and an aspect ratio of 20:9. On the front, there is an 8-megapixel selfie camera, while the rear camera is equipped with two lenses, a 50-megapixel main lens and a 2-megapixel depth lens. The camera is capable of recording video in 1080 pixel quality at 30 or 60 FPS. For chipset matters, it still uses the MediaTek Helio G85 with an octa-core processor and Mali G52 MC2 GPU. The Galaxy A06 comes with 4 GB or 6 GB of RAM options, as well as 64 GB or 128 GB of internal storage, which can be expanded via the micro SDXC slot. The 5,000 mAh capacity battery supports 25-watt fast charging. Available color options are blue, gold, and white. The Realme C63 5G is a smartphone with a 6.67-inch IPS LCD display that supports a 120Hz refresh rate. In the camera department, the phone features a 32-megapixel rear camera with a 27mm wide lens that supports 1080-pixel video recording at 30 frames per second. For selfie needs, there is an 8-megapixel front camera with a 25mm lens that is also capable of recording videos at 1080 pixels resolution. The smartphone is powered by a Dimensity 6300 chipset combined with 4 GB, 6 GB, or 8 GB of RAM, and 128 GB of internal storage that can be expanded using a micro SDXC card. For endurance, the C63 5G is equipped with a 5,000 mAh battery that supports 15-watt fast charging. It is available in 2 color options, namely forest green and starry gold.